morning, friends and family. I was just get up this morning and I started cleaning up my fridge, and I came across a piece of, or a chunk of, or a half of cabbage in the back, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna make sauerkraut. So I just wanted to see if you guys wanted to join me. So start you off, what I've done, I've started to do, and I thought, hey, I might as well make a video. I took the cabbage, cleaned it up. It's not very big, it's very small. What I had left, I cut it into 4 and I removed the ribs. So I've already done that step. Now I'm just starting to shred it. So what I'm doing is actually taking my knife, and I like to do this by hand, meaning I don't put it through the food processor or the shredder. Now, having said that, I'm only making a little bottle of sauerkraut. Okay, so I just slice it. Probably about, I don't know, an 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch. However long you would like to put, have your sauerkraut in the jar when you take it out, like whatever thickness you like, you can do that. Just make sure you either cut the little hard ribs out, or make sure that you thin them slice them thinly. Oh my god, one of those mornings. Maybe I got up too early. I doubt it, but anyhow, just make sure you slice them thinly, because you don't want that big chunk of hard sauerkraut. All right. Now, once you make the sauerkraut, you can put it away and you can keep it forever. You know, like, it's fermented. It's nature's way of preserving food, and sauerkraut is actually really good for your digestive system and your belly, your gut health. You have to be careful. The stuff that you buy in the store, it might be fermented, but it has been processed, so it's probably been heat processed, so you're going to lose a lot of those probiotics in that from the fermented food. Because it's been pasteurized, because heat processed, yeah, you're gonna lose that. So I'm gonna grab a jar. So here's my jar. All you need to make sauerkraut is your cabbage and salt. Make sure when you use salt, you either use pickling salt, which would be bigger chunks, or Himalayan salt or something like that. Don't use table salt because it has iodine in it and you don't want it to discolor, okay? And iodine's there. We use iodine to help us like heal cuts and things like that. So it's like almost like it would kill the beneficial bacteria, probably. I don't know. I'm not an actual scientist in a lab to find out what exactly iodine kills. But I'm just thinking in that environment, it might set it up for failure, because, like I said, it's meant to heal and clean cuts. So I'm going to put a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of cabbage on the bottom, not that much. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a brine. So I have Himalayan salt in my salt shaker. So I'm just going to shake a little bit on there. Not much. And then I'm going to get a spatula that I have, and I'm going to tamp it down. You can actually buy pieces of wood that are sauerkraut tampers. Well, I'm not going to do that. This is mine. It's clean. I'm just going to use it to tamp it down. So what we're doing when we're tamping it down, we're breaking up the fibers in the cabbage and releasing the water, and then the salt is drawing it out. Okay. So with a lot of fermented foods, the salt is what helps you set it up. There's certain bacteria that can't live in the fermented food environment, meaning the salty environment. So all the bad bacteria that can't live there will be destroyed in the brine, and it will actually create an environment for the good bacteria that we want to be able to live. So how much do I pound this? I don't know, until it gets to be like, you can see water coming out. Now we're going to keep doing this. Some people, I'm going to show you another way too. Some people take a stainless steel bowl and they'll put their cabbage in it. and then we'll sprinkle salt. Now you can look at, I will look it up and put it on the video how much salt you should use per cabbage. I don't have a big cabbage, so I'm not going to really be using a lot of salt. But they will massage it, right? Same thing as tamping down, breaking it up, releasing that water. Add more cabbage, add more salt. Until we get it all worked in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the last of the cabbage in. Massage it a little bit. And then I'm going to leave it here. Shake a little bit more salt on it. I'm going to leave it here and let that salt withdraw all that moisture, okay? I'm going to leave a little bit of this in here, which I started to tamp with. The same thing, I'm going to tamp it a little bit more, and then I'm going to set and let it rest. Now I could fill the whole bottle up and do that, but I think I want to show you both ways, so I'm going to just let the big bowl sit and rest, let water draw it out, and then I'll put it into here and see how we're doing. So I'm just going to check on my cabbage. Here it is in the bowl. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's a little bit of water down here. I don't think you can see it. I'll show you in a minute. But I'll massage it a little bit more just to break it up. I tend not to put a lot of salt in mine because I'm always scared to put too much salt in. So what I found on the internet, it says how much salt per cabbage. It was like 2 teaspoons of salt per 1 pound of cabbage. So I had about 1 pound of cabbage in here. So I could add a little bit more, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it from here into this jar and tamp it down as I go. I'm going to let it set a little longer. Like I said, if I massage it, try to make a little bit of, or work a little bit of the moisture out of it, the water out of it, that'll be better. What you want to do in the end is have it completely submersed in the brine, okay? If you don't get enough moisture out of it by this, like by massaging it and tamping it down, you can make a water brine, which I believe I'll add it on here. Anyways, it's water and salt mixed together, and then you just fill it up so that you make sure that all the cabbage is immersed in water. I actually have one of the mason jar things. I should double check. I think it's a wide mouth, so I'm gonna have to switch this out to a wide mouth jar. It's a fermenting thing, has a little spring, holds whatever food you're trying to ferment down under, and then it has a cover, a plastic cover that has a little valve. If you don't have one of those and you just use a regular jar, for example like this, and you just use a regular lid, you're gonna have to what they call burp it, which is just release that gas, okay? Because the gas is going to build up in here, the fermentation properties or fermentation process. Anyways, I'll show you that step when we get to it next, okay? I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna put it into this jar. Actually, I'm gonna get a wide mouth jar, and then I'm gonna take this and put it in the wide mouth jar. Okay, so there's moisture. I don't know if you can see it or not. You can see it's kind of collecting there, the water. I poured out, but I don't want to. Actually, here. To show you after I've tamped it down and added the salt. There's a little bit of that brine. It will, once it sets a little longer, the salt will keep pulling the moisture out. So I want that moisture in there. That's what I want to create. Okay, so I'll tamp it down a little bit more, and then if I don't have it completely covered, I will make the saltwater brine. I'll post it on here what the measurements are, and then I have a fermenting kit that I got. It's from Ball. It's got a little like thing on the bottom, I guess, almost like a potato masher, but it will actually keep the food down underneath, and then there's a little vent on the top of this, and that actually allows the gases to vent out. So I don't have to burp mine every day or every second day. But if you do, like I said, all you got to do is you just go over and you take the cover off and then put the cover back on. That's all you're doing to burp it, to let those gases out. You just don't want it to, you know, keep going. Sometimes you need to get a plate. This I probably wouldn't because I have a lot of room here, but if you're up pretty close to the top, you should get a plate and put underneath your bottle, because sometimes it will leak out the fermentation process. The liquid will come out a little bit. And that's great, that's fine, that's what you kind of want. But after I'm done this, oh, see, yeah, you can see the liquid on there now. It's coming. It will, and if it's kind of underneath, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have the spring is pushing it down. So what I'm going to do is let it set a little bit, and then I'm probably going to take a spatula and move this side stuff that's on there down. I'm going to set it on my counter, my kitchen counter, right here in a corner, and I'm going to leave it. If you don't have a lid like this with the spring in it, check it and burp it every day or every second day. If you have one of these, you can just leave it. Check it in about 7 days, okay? Take a little piece of the sauerkraut out, check it. Is that what you want, or do you need a little bit stronger? The longer you leave it out, the stronger it's going to get. But I want to let you know that once you get it to where you want it, the flavor you want, the taste you want, the one that you like, put it in the fridge. It's going to stop, well, not necessarily stop, but it's going to slow down the fermentation process. So what's going to happen then is you're going to have really good sauerkraut with all the probiotics and the good stuff, all the benefits from fermented foods in there. You can leave it in there for a year. It's not going to go bad. It's preserved, okay? The fermentation process will actually preserve your sauerkraut or your cabbage. Hey everyone, it's been 20 days so since I started my sauerkraut, and that's probably about the time that I like to have. So it smells just like sauerkraut. So you can see how much brine actually came out of it. I'm actually gonna put the cover back on so you can see quite a bit of brine came out of it. Salt, whatever, liquid, brine, and oh, I can almost tell by the smell of it. Yeah, that's exactly where I like it. Perfect. So, I've done this before. So I said about 20 days is what I like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna transfer it into another mason jar, just so that I'll have this in case I wanna make it again. Yeah, so that was it. That was how you make sauerkraut. I hope you enjoy it, and I actually hope you try it and see if you like it. If you really like it, you could always do it in a bigger batch. There's lots of other YouTube videos out there that will help you make it in a bigger batch, maybe a bucket. I'm the only one that really eats it in my family, so I only make a little bit at a time. So there we have it, all done, folks. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put this in another mason jar and put it in my fridge. All right, talk to you later.